Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back again to the K-Storm Network. I'm your host, Cody Storm, as always, and we're here for this week's PlayStation Store weekly update video. Now, it's been a short while since we did our last update video, but we're finally back here today, and we are starting things off with the PlayStation 4. And we're going to start off today's episode by looking at the new games that have just recently come out. And to start things off, the first new game that we have to look at here today is Emily Wants to Sleep. So sadly, already off the bat, it does not have remote play functionality, which is something I always look for. But here's what they have to say about it. It's 11 p.m. and you are at the last house on your route. The lights are on and the front door is opened, but the windows are all boarded up and the grass is overgrown. It seems like a strange place to deliver a pizza, but at least it looks like someone is home. You run to the front door since it's storming pretty bad. Hello? Your pizza's here, you announce. But no one answers. There's an eerie silence in the night. You're getting soaked from the rain, so you hastily step inside the door and look around. The front door suddenly closes behind you. You just wanted to finish this last delivery and head home for the night. Now you must figure out how to get out of the stupid, creepy house. Freely roam the house and try to figure out what is going on. 3 dolls and a strange girl named Emily will also start roaming the house as the hours toll by. Stay away from them, but if you do end up in a room with one, figure out how to stay alive. This may be your last pizza delivery. So it is a one-player game, and, I've seen my fair share of porn growing up as a kid, but, pizza delivery never gets old. So moving on next, we got Worms WMD. Now, Worms is a pretty big franchise. It's been around for quite a long while, ever since the 90s. And thankfully, this game does support remote play, so it gets bonus points for me. I played a lot of Worms growing up, and we have a few Worms games here on the channel, if you guys are interested in seeing what any of those look like. But as far as WMD goes, this is what they have to say about it. The Worms are back in their most destructive game yet, with a gorgeous hand-drawn 2D look, brand new weapons, the introductions of crafting, vehicles, and buildings, plus the return of some much-loved classic weapons and gameplay. Worms WMD is the best Worms experience ever. Work your way through 30 campaign levels of increasingly difficulty, using the huge arsenal of new and classic weapons at your disposal. Use new vehicles to cause chaos amongst the enemy ranks, and use buildings to gain the tactical advantages as you try to dominate the battlefield. Take on up to 5 opponents in hilarious all-out tactical warfare with up to 8 worms each. Either in local or online multiplayer, including ranked play, flatten your opponents with the concrete donkey. Turn them into chunks of worm meat with the holy grenade. Rain down hell from above in helicopters, or pound them into oblivion with the tank. With 80 weapons and utilities at your fingertips, this is a Worms chaotic at its best. So, it does support online play, 1 to 6 members, 2 to 6 online, remote play. Online play is optional, so if you do want to stick to single player only and play the campaign, you can. But a game like Worms, it is best enjoyed online, I would say. That'd be my opinion. Up next, we got ourselves Valley. Let's see what Valley is all about. Brought to us by Blue Isle Studio. And remember, all the prices that you see in today's video are, in fact, Canadian pricing. So if you are European or American, every game you see here will tend to be cheaper in your own home country. Valley is a first-person adventure unlike any other. Hidden deep within a remote region of the Rocky Mountains, you find yourself bewildered within a secluded valley. With the power of a recently discovered LEAF suit, leap effortlessly through air functionality, run and jump your way through beautiful forests, dangerous ruins, and vast environments, all the while utilizing the power to control life and death to uncover the startling secrets of the mysterious valley. Be forewarned, with these newfound abilities come a daunting repercussion. The more you experience death within the valley, the more the valley will die around you. Ooh, so that's interesting. Depending on how you use your powers and how often you use them, your surroundings will change. So that sounds pretty interesting, actually. And moving on next, a game that really doesn't need any type of description or real biography, is The King of Fighters 14. The world-famous King of Fighters vs. fighting game series makes its return to a new chapter on PlayStation 4, with The King of Fighters 14. A total of 50 characters are ready to duke it out in KOF's traditional 3-on-3 team versus battle system. The King of Fighters 14 offers a large variety of user-friendly game modes, refined online features, as well as an epic storyline for the best KOF experience ever on PS4. PS4 where the gamers are. So King of Fighters, much like Tekken or Street Fighter, it is a fighting franchise, and if you've heard of King of Fighters before, you already know what it is, and if you don't know what it is, you should definitely go and check it out for yourself. Up next, a free game that actually just came out this week, Prominence Poker. So you can actually pick this up free, whether you're a PlayStation Plus member or not. Completely free game. Supports 2 to 6 network players, and judging by the name having poker in it, you guessed it, it's a poker game. Built around unsuspecting and seedy locations, Prominence is a gambling utopia ruled by crooked goons that are determined to keep you from cashing out. Only here can you find the thrill of high-stakes poker while risking everything to take over this underground empire from the mayor, the mysterious town founder. A single poker hand can make all the difference, if you're good enough. Underground gambling. Hustle your way into the secretive backroom games, from the dive biker bar to the sketchy Prominence cleaners laundromat. Cunning faction leaders compete against unscrupulous and colorful characters. Build your rep and the bankroll needed to corner each boss into a Texas Hold'em showdown. Outplay opponents in multiplayer, wage big bets in high-stakes poker against other crafty gamblers in ring tournaments and heads-up modes. It also supports single player. Start off as a tourist looking to strike it rich as you grind away at the local casino and work your way into the backroom games. So it does have a full single player experience as well as network 2 to 6 players if you want to get your poker on with some friends. So up next, another thing I'm very excited for this week is the return of the Nioh beta demo. I believe last time around it was the alpha, and this time around it is the beta. So you know what? I'm actually going to slap that right now. Start the download while we're doing this video. We're doing it live. Now, let's see what it has to say. So, for you guys who aren't familiar with Nioh, it is a little bit like the Dark Souls, Bloodborne series. People say it actually is harder than them. I have not experienced it myself yet, but I look forward to once the beta is actually done downloading. As far as 2 to 2 network players, as well as remote play, in the age of samurai, a lone traveler lands on the shores of Japan. He must fight his way through the vicious warriors and supernatural yokai that infest the land in order to find that which he seeks. Clear the Isle of Demons stage to download the Mark of the Conqueror. Clear the new stage Deep in the Shadows to download the Mark of the Warrior. Both downloads will entitle you to some cool rewards in the final game. Don't miss out. Oh, nice! You get swag for playing the demo! That's awesome! I'm gonna have to totally try to beat all that so we can get ourselves some stuff from when it's launched. Okay, so it's only gonna be available from August 23rd to September 6th, so I gotta get my game on and try to beat some stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'll try to record it so you guys can check it out too. That should be fun. Up next, what we got? We got ourselves a Madden game, Madden NFL 17. Because would it really be a year without a Madden game? This NFL, I was gonna say NHL. I got hockey on the brain. I'm sorry, I'm a Canuck. So, it does support remote play. And this is what they have to say about it. Take your team all the way in Madden NFL 17 and put yourself at the center of your team's championship run in franchise mode, delivering new ways to play and more decisions to make. Arm your team for gridiron glory on both sides of the ball with innovative ball carrier feedback cues, defender fake-out mechanics, and a new authentic defensive AI system. Experience the most dynamic gameplay analysis with unprecedented depth throughout the NFL series. With an all-new in-studio Madden NFL commentary team featuring Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, driven by the most balanced gameplay yet, the deepest commentary in Madden NFL franchise history, along with fun and fresh ways to play, modes such as Extreme Ultimate Team and draft champions. Madden NFL 17 is the most complete Madden ever. Learn more about Madden 17. Wow, they have an official website. Just read about it. So don't really care too much about that. So we'll just move on to the next one. And up next, what we have is Inside, brought to us by Playdead Apps. I've actually seen quite a bit of this game. I've seen a lot of YouTubers play it recently. And it's essentially like a new age Limbo, if you wanted to put it in terms of what games it's like. It's a little bit like Limbo. It's a black-white grayscale game. You're exploring, action platformer, and side-scroller. Haunted and alone, a boy finds himself drawn into the center of a dark project. Additional hardware for remote play. So it does support remote play, which is always really good, so you can sit back, play it on your Vita. It is a one-player game, and from what I've seen, it is also a short game, much like Limbo. If you really wanted to, you could beat it in one sitting, which makes, I would say, a nearly $30 price tag a little bit hefty, but the game does really make you think, and it is very interesting. I have seen it from start to finish. Up next, what do we got here? We got ourselves the newest Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So, there's 3 of them that you can get here on the store this week. One of them is the Digital Standard Edition, which is your typical $79.99 game, $69 in other countries. Deus Ex Mankind Divided directly follows the aftermath of the AUG incident, a day when mechanically augmented citizens all over the world were stripped of control over their minds and bodies, resulting in the deaths of millions of innocents. The year is now 2029, and the golden era of augmentations is over. Mechanically augmented humans have been deemed outcasts and segregated from the rest of society. Crime and acts of terror serve as a thin veil to cover up an overarching conspiracy aimed at controlling the future of mankind itself. Okay, and included in the standard edition, you get extra in-game missions, Covert Agent Pack, which I would assume might be a costume or additional skins, maybe even a mission. Digital Novella, which should be a little comic, little strip. Digital comic book, which is obviously comic book. Digital art book. A digital original soundtrack sampler, which is pretty weird that it's a sampler and not just the original soundtrack. As well as a Mankind Divided PlayStation 4 theme, which is the ongoing thing right now for pre-orders. And if you're feeling extra fancy and you love the Deus Ex franchise, you can upgrade from the standard edition to the digital deluxe edition, but the only real difference that you're getting included for about an extra $30-$40 is the season pass, which entitles you to everything that comes out in the future months. But nothing about the DLC in the future has been announced, so it could very well not be that interesting. So for now, what I would say is just get yourself the standard edition, and if it turns out that you like the DLC, or you hear something about the DLC, I don't know, you can always get yourself the season pass later. And then here you got yourselves Mankind Divided, which seems to be completely stripped down mode, where you don't get anything else in it, but there is no price, so that's a little bit random to be here. So I would say Standard and Deluxe are the only 2, and somehow they accidentally put the single one here in the store. But moving on next, we got ourselves a game that is save 10% if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Army Krog, brought to us by Versus Evil. Army Krog is a unique stop-motion clay animation point-and-click adventure game from the creators of Earthworm Jim and The Neverhood. Unravel the mysteries of the fortress that holds Tommy Knot and his blind alien talking dog, Beak Beak, captive through exploration and puzzle solving. Lovable characters designed by Doug, creator of the Earthworm Jim, and developed by creators of The Neverhood. Rich cast of voice-over talent brings Arma Krog's characters to life, including well-known actors from Napoleon Dynamite, Pinky and the Brain, as well as Mysterious Science Theater 3000. An original soundtrack created and recorded by American songwriter and recorder-producer Terry Scott Taylor. Everyone knows that actor from Home Improvement. But, you know, stop animation game is always very nice to have. You don't get them very often. They're rather hard to make because, in case you don't know what stop animation is it's clay figures And essentially you take a picture of it, you move them an inch, you take another picture, and that's stop animation. Each frame is a single snap, basically, a different picture, and then you run them all together, much like the way cartoons are made, to make it look fluid and have movement. Now, it being made by Earthworm Jim, I would say is very reassuring, because who growing up didn't like Earthworm Jim? But I'm not much of the point-and-click adventure type person, so moving on, we got ourselves Alone With You, which is also on sale if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. Save 20%. It doesn't have remote play, which is always a downer, but what they have to say about it is, you're the last survivor of a doomed space colony, trying to escape a planet before it implodes around you. Equipped with a scanner, you'll reveal clues, solve puzzles, and discover the fates of 24 citizen colonists and the secrets of their interwoven lives. By day, you'll explore this richly detailed world with the help of the colony's troubled AI, and each night you'll spend quality time with several holographic companions, forging lasting relationships while gathering further insight into the colony's tragic downfall. Experience more than a dozen missions, including lush agroponic installations, vast research labs, and the eerily quiet cabins of your former colleagues. Get to know Pierre, Winnie, Jean, and Leslie, and help them realize their destinies through a unique natural social system. Multiple endings and branching conversations let you explore new perspectives with each playthrough. And also, purchasing this game entitles you to both PlayStation 4 and Vita versions, so that's essentially 2 games for the price of 1. And because it has branching dialogue options and multiple endings, there is replayability to it, so we might check that out in the future. That seems like the type of game I'd be interested in. And lastly, the last new game of the week is Absolute Drift Zen Edition. Also does not have remote play, but what they have to say about it is this is a driving experience like no other, they say. Journey from apprentice to master drifter as you hone your skills in a gorgeous minimalist world. Travel from airports and docks to a floating metropolis in search of new cars and ever greater challenges. Chill out to over 3 hours of electronic music by C41 and NYTE. Push yourself to the limit on drifting tracks and wild mountain roads while you work to unlock trophies and elite midnight events. Drift alongside ghosts of the top players in the world, or refine your skill by outscoring your own ghost. Your driving skills will be challenged at every turn until you finally become a master drifter. So this game is one player, where it sounds like essentially you're going to be doing time trials, time attacks, and racing against ghost data, which might be fun. It might be really cool. And as you see here, here's like a little sneak peek of what it looks like. But I'm not a big fan of single-player racing games, you know. They're essentially just trying to get better, trying to have better times, where I'm more a party racer, much like Mario Kart. And lastly, for the new games that you can pick up on the PlayStation Store, we have 3 pre-orders that are available as of right now. First off is the hit classic Resident Evil 4. It's going to be $24.99. Let's see what they have to say about this classic. So right off the bat, if you pre-order Resident Evil 4 on the PS4, you're going to be getting a Leon and an Umbrella Corps logo. So you're going to be getting avatars for your PlayStation account, which is pretty rare. You don't really see that too much. It's mostly themes that you get or additional content. So getting a logo is always really nice. And you actually get 2 of them. So, Resident Evil 4 arrives on PlayStation 4 in full 1080p HD with an increased frame rate. This revolutionary masterpiece features legendary third-person action gameplay and a thrilling storyline. I would say if you guys have never played Resident Evil 4, now would be the time to pick it up. 1080p HD, PlayStation 4, sounds pretty good to me. Resident Evil 4 is actually one of the Resident Evils I've completed. I have not played 1 or 2, actually, to this day, even though I feel ashamed to say it, but, you know, 4, we might record 4. I played it. Right now I'm going through Revelations 2 and Resident Evil 5 with a good old drowsy guy, but maybe in the future, you know, there's always potential that we could check out 4. And up next, the game I'm very excited for is God Eater 2 Rage Burst. It does have cross-platform, PS4, PS Vita, as well as remote play with the Vita. So right now, if you pre-order God Eater, you will get God Eater Resurrection, which is God Eater 1, in case you didn't know. It goes God Eater Resurrection, and then God Eater Rage Burst. We do have some gameplay of Resurrection on the channel if you're interested in seeing what that looks like. And we should have a little bit more Resurrection gameplay going up on the channel as well, because I'd like to play more of the game, as long as you guys are interested in seeing it. But here's what they have to say about good old God Eater. Defy all gods and dig deep into the world of God Eaters. Pre-order God Eater 2 Burst, and get anime collaboration costumes from Sword Eater Online, Hollow Realization, Tales of Zestiria, and Tokyo Ghoul, plus a full copy of God Eater Resurrection for free. So that's a huge incentive to pre-order. You're getting tons of good loot. I'm going to personally pick this up before it comes out, because I don't want to miss out on getting myself some Tokyo Ghoul and some Sword Art Online costume / swag, you know. 3 years after the events of God Eater Resurrection, a mysterious red rain sparks a fatal pandemic called the Black Plague. Take control of their newest recruits as you master incredible weaponry, challenge enormous monsters, and cooperate with an iconic cast of characters fighting for humanity in God Eater 2 Rage Burst. More than one way to slay a monster, use God Arcs, massive weapons created from Oracle cells, to hack / shoot and devour origami. Monstrous content, God Eater 2 Rage Burst continues the epic God Eater saga, featuring new and returning heroes, rich characters and weapon customizations, and over 100 hours of story and gameplay content, fully voiced in English. Power of Blood. Learn over 400 different blood arts for melee weapons to enhance your attacks and blood bullets to add various attributes. Squad Up. Play with up to 3 additional players online to form a cooperative 4-man cell, perfect for taking on the most difficult of missions. So I would say definitely we're going to be checking this out. I'd be pretty happy to try this out. The price is a little bit hefty, but you do get God Eater 1 included, as well as you get the pre-order costumes for those 3 animes. So it's a little bit of a bummer. I already own Resurrection, but you know, what can you really do about it? At least I'll have, I guess, a second copy of Resurrection. Unless they give it to you as a gift code, then I would gladly give it away, but I doubt that they'll do that. They'll probably lock it to your account. And the last pre-order that is available as of right now is Assetto Corsa, which seems to be a racing game. If you pre-order, you get an Assetto Corsa theme, static, of course. And here's what they have to say about this new racing game. This is not just a game. This is real sim racing. Pre-order now and receive the Performance Pack DLC, which features the Ferrari 488 GTB, the Audi R8 V10 Plus, and Corvette C7 Stingray, as well as an exclusive Assetto Corsa theme. So this is a racing game, sim racing, a little bit like NASCAR, or I don't even know all the different racings. I've never been too big on them. But if you're into racing, this is definitely the newest one that seems to be coming out if you're into car racing sims. And a friendly reminder at the top that one of the free games this month is Tricky Towers, which is a pretty fun take on your traditional Tetris. It feels a little bit like Tetris meets Dr. Mario. I played the first few minutes of it myself. Sadly, I am very bad at games such as Tetris, so that type of game does not suit me very well. So in terms of the new games this week, that's about all that there is. But when we head over to deals, let's check out what kind of game deals we have this week and see if there's anything interesting. You can pick up Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 at a discounted price, both the Standard Edition and the Deluxe Edition. So that's pretty cool. You can also get yourself the Epic Pack for Paragon, which is, I believe, all the different heroes become unlocked. So for $45, you yourself can play every hero. But for a little bit cheaper than that, there's the Prime Pack, which includes some of the heroes, but not all of them. And continuing the trend, we still have the Loot Ultimate Games and Themes bundle. Lots of indie games you can get for yourself, including Qbert, Whispering Willows, all that good stuff. There's 3 different bundles to choose from, including different sizes, ranging from 3 games to 6 games. You can also pick yourself up the Eterno Blade bundle, Gallic Z, There's some Star Trek themes and icons. There's a huge Star Trek theme and icon bundle. Tempo the Badass Elephant, Inside the Radio, Citizens of Earth, Amazing Discoveries, and probably the coolest thing that I've seen a long time on the PlayStation Network is Power Rangers Ultimate Theme and Avatar bundles. So if you're really yearning for the golden era of the Power Rangers, you yourself too can have them as your logo and theme. So, that's pretty cool. Get yourself a Power Ranger theme. There's a bunch of other games that are still available this week. They're all pretty much small ticket indie type games. Lots of avatars, lots of dynamic themes. There's also Don't Starve Shipwreck Console Edition, so that's pretty cool. Get yourself Don't Starve Shipwrecked. Other than that, not a whole lot going on for deals this week, unless you're really into icons, which, judging by my friends list, no one really cares too much about them, because everyone has the same picture. So I would say that pretty much wraps up everything this week on the PlayStation Store update. Other than that, we looked at the new games, we looked at the weekly deals. Not really a whole lot more going on. There's one more free game this month that I don't think I mentioned before, and that is here, Rebel Galaxy. So these are the two free games you can get this month. Tricky Towers, Rebel Galaxy. We'll probably do a blind date or a one-night stand of one of them, if not both of them. So this is going to wrap up the PS4 segment of basically the store update this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we might jump onto the Vita if they're actually offering anything, but most of the time lately, everything you get on the PS4, you also get on the...
I only want a proper introduction. Maybe all it takes is a baseball bat to show you what I do. Clicking in your jaw is a testament for trying to test me.